Todd Bender has broken over 100,000 registered targets in his career. He's coached Olympic shooters. He stood on ranges with world champions and told them flat out what was wrong with their swing before they even finished the string. And here's what he says separates the shooters who break 90 out of 100 from the ones stuck at 70. It isn't talent. It isn't reflexes. It isn't even the gun in your hands. It's one decision you make before the target ever leaves the trap. If you've ever walked off a station shaking your head, wondering how you smoked the first 8 birds, and then missed 3 in a row for no reason at all, this video is for you, because the miss you can't explain? Bender says that's the most dangerous miss there is. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly why it's happening, and exactly what to do about it. Act 1. The stakes. Let's be honest about something for a second. You didn't pick up this sport to stand around. You picked it up because there's nothing else quite like the feeling of calling pull, tracking that clay against the sky, and watching it turn to dust. That feeling doesn't get old. Not at 40, not at 60, not at 70. But here's the quiet fear a lot of shooters your age carry onto the line and never say out loud, "Am I getting worse?" Your eyes aren't what they were at 25. Your reaction time has changed. And every missed pair feels like proof that the game is slipping away from you. Todd Bender would tell you that fear is misplaced, because the data doesn't back it up. Some of the most consistent, most feared shooters on the registered circuit are well into their 60s and 70s. Age doesn't kill your scores. Bad fundamentals do. And bad fundamentals can be fixed at any age. So if you're missing more than you used to, the answer isn't get younger. The answer is get sharper. And Bender's entire coaching philosophy is built around 3 specific breakdowns that quietly wreck scores. Breakdowns most shooters never even notice happening. Let's go through them, one at a time. Act 2. The focus trap. Here's a question for you. When you call for the bird, what are you actually looking at? If your honest answer is the clay, Bender says you've already made your first mistake. Elite shooters don't watch the clay as an object. They watch a single point on the leading edge of that clay, and they hold their focus there with a kind of tunnel vision that blocks out everything else. The barrel, the background, the other shooters on the squad. This is sometimes called hard focus or a quiet eye. And researchers who study elite performance have found that top competitors lock onto their target earlier and hold that lock longer than amateurs do across almost every target sport you can name. Now here's the part that should sting a little. When your eyes drift, even for a fraction of a second, to check where your barrel is, your brain briefly downgrades its tracking of the target. That's not a bad habit. That's basic neuroscience. And it's happening to shooters who've been in this sport for decades. Because soft focus is comfortable. Hard focus takes discipline. So the next time you step onto a station, try this. Don't just watch the bird. Pick one edge of it, the leading edge, and refuse to let your eyes leave that spot until the shot breaks. It'll feel unnatural at first, almost too simple to matter. But stick with us, because this next mistake is one Bender says is even more common, and it's costing shooters entire event scores without them ever realizing it's happening. Act 3. The stopped gun. Have you ever hit a target and then immediately felt your gun stop? Most shooters have, and most shooters don't even feel it happen. That's what makes this one so brutal. This is the classic case of stopping your swing at the moment of the shot instead of driving through it. It happens because your brain sees the hit coming, gets a little dopamine hit of confidence, and eases off the gas half a beat early. The barrel decelerates, and on faster or angling targets, that half beat is the difference between a smoked clay and a clean miss. Bender's fix is brutally simple, which is exactly why it works. Your hands should be accelerating through the entire shot, not just up to it. Follow-through isn't a nice-to-have for style points. It's what guarantees your barrel is still moving fast enough, in the right direction, at the exact moment the shot fires. Here's the humbling part. This isn't a beginner mistake. This is a comfortable shooter mistake. It happens most to people who've shot enough rounds to feel confident. Confident enough to relax right when they should be driving hardest. Sound familiar? If it does, don't worry. You're in good company, and it's fixable in a single practice session. But there's one more piece to this puzzle, and it's the one almost nobody talks about, because it has nothing to do with your eyes or your swing at all. Act 4. The gun that's lying to you. Here's an uncomfortable question. When was the last time you actually checked your gun fit? Not bought a new gun, checked the fit. Bender has said in essentially every interview he's ever given that gun fit is the single most underrated factor in consistent shooting. And here's why that matters more. The longer you've been in this sport, not less, your body changes. Posture shifts. Shoulders round slightly with age. The stance you had at 45 is not the stance you have at 65. And if your gun was fitted to the old you, it is now quietly lying to you every single time you mount it. A gun that doesn't fit will shoot exactly where it points, which is not necessarily where your eye is looking. That mismatch shows up as inconsistent misses. Sometimes high, sometimes low, sometimes left, sometimes right. The kind of misses that feel completely random because, in a sense, they are. You're not the variable. The gun is. This is the miss shooters blame on themselves for years. They tighten their focus. They work on follow-through. They do everything right, and they're still missing because nobody ever checked whether the gun fits the shooter they are today. So here's your homework, and it costs you nothing. At your next practice, have a coach or an experienced shooting buddy check your mount. Watch where your eye actually sits relative to the rib when you come up naturally, without adjusting. If you're having to make micro adjustments every single time just to get comfortable, that's not muscle memory, that's your gun fighting you. Now, put focus, follow through, and fit together, and something interesting happens. Act 5. The turn. These three breakdowns, soft focus, the stopped gun, and poor fit, rarely show up alone. They compound. A gun that doesn't fit makes it harder to hold hard focus because part of your brain is busy fighting the mount instead of watching the target. And when you're fighting the mount, your gun speed drops, which makes you more likely to stop your swing early. That's the trap. And that's also exactly why so many shooters plateau for years without knowing why. They're not missing because they lack talent. They're missing because three small invisible leaks are draining their score, one target at a time. But here's the encouraging part, and it's worth sitting with. Every single one of these fixes is available to you starting your very next round. You don't need faster reflexes. You don't need to be 20 years younger. You need a coach's eye, even a temporary one, checking these three things in this order. Where are your eyes locked? Is your gun still accelerating through the shot? And does your gun actually fit the shooter you are right now? Shooters who've corrected all three report the same thing over and over. The birds don't get slower. They just stop surprising you. Act 6. The close. So here's the real question Todd Bender is putting in front of you. It's not, are you good enough? You already are. Or you wouldn't still be showing up to the line after all these years. The real question is whether you're willing to be honest about which of these three leaks is yours. Soft focus, a stopped swing, a gun that no longer fits the shooter holding it. Pick one, just one. Take it to your next practice round and work on nothing else. Not all three at once, one. Bender's own students will tell you that trying to fix everything simultaneously is how shooters get stuck in their own heads and shoot worse, not better. Consistency isn't built in a single dramatic breakthrough. It's built one corrected leak at a time, one round at a time by shooters patient enough to diagnose themselves honestly instead of blaming age or luck or a bad batch of shells. You have more good rounds left in you than you think. The only question is whether you fix the leak or keep quietly wondering why the misses feel so random. Here's the thing about fit and follow-through. Neither one of them means much if your fundamental mount is broken to begin with. And that's a mistake even experienced shooters make without ever noticing it. That's exactly what we break down, step by step, in our video on John Bidwell's secret mounting technique, the same method top-level coaches use to fix inconsistent mounts fast. If today's video hit home, that one's your natural next step. It's linked right there on your screen. Go check it out, and I'll see you in the next one.